are live
All
with
right,
Jeff
man.
Victory from Honore, Chicago. Jeff, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
Man, this has been in the making. Like a lot of conversations I've been having today, and for like now, what, 2 to 3 years?
Easily, for sure. Yeah,
Man.
we've had a lot of Zoom meetings. Like I said, you look a lot smaller on the computer screen, man. He's taller than me. What's going on
so
out here, man?
we're taking a quick break.
Yeah.
It's Monday, the third day at Honore. It's been quite busy for you guys.
Absolutely. It's been a good show, for sure.
It's been a good show. How many? Like 20,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's people everywhere, obviously. I don't, the number, I couldn't tell you, but someone did tell me that the volume was down or the traffic was down, but it seems like today it's hard to get.
Yeah, it's
anywhere.
hard. Exactly. So we had to walk for like 40 minutes to catch an Uber.
Seriously, just to get out of the...
Literally, yes.
Wow, that's...
We couldn't get an Uber. So now the reason why I'm excited to have this chat with Jeff is Jeff has an exciting story to tell, and I'll let him do a lot of the talking here. But Jeff is a successful business owner who owned a service business and then had a great exit. And I wanted to bring on Jeff on the show on Field Service Excellence FXL is because a lot of times, we talk about growth through M&A and mergers and acquisitions. Now we're going to talk about the other side for a business owner who sold their business and how that experience was for them, and maybe some advice here. Now, Jeff didn't sell his business and go retire. In fact, he got more involved into the industry, and we'll talk a little bit about that towards the end, and talking from the parts side of the industry. But Jeff, so when did you start your service company? Can you give us a little bit of background about the service company you started?
Yeah, it was a little over a decade ago, around the 2012 is when we technically started the name. I had been in the industry already for a couple of years, but me and a gentleman that I had been working with decided to partner up and kind of start our own thing. We were lucky in the sense that we were able to start it with a project. So it was different than just saying, hey, we walk into the first restaurant and let's start fixing equipment or the first building and trying to gain rapport that way. So we were able to start it more on the construction side of the business, where we were doing a lot of duct work, and it was mainly HVAC, heavier HVAC equipment, chillers. We replaced a chiller. We did a lot of retrofits with HVAC, and then so that was kind of the start of that company. Prior to that, I was cutting my teeth on a lot of different things just to learn the industry.
Yeah, so you're an entrepreneur. You started a service business, and for how long did you run it?
Just about a decade, I think it was.
Okay, so about 10 years.
Yeah.
God bless. And in those, so and what had you decide to sell? So 10 years into the future, what made you decide that it's time for you to sell?
We had an extreme growth path. So you see a lot of companies out there, even 5,000, and it's tough to get your hands around growth. I would say our main issue was having that middle management. It's tough enough to find people in the industry as it is. To find skilled people or experienced people it's finding a needle in a needle stack.
Yeah.
So, being able to grow as fast as we did, but not have an internal team to facilitate was extremely difficult. Mm-hmm. So, off the top of my head, I mean, it's years ago, but I remember one year we'd grown like 456%. And that was like one of our...
God bless.
That was one of our plaques, the E5000 plaques. And I was like, we did that? That was...
Right.
It was just...
So you had extreme growth, and you like what? You don't have to give me a specific number, but you grew the business like to what? Above 10 million? Was it less than 10 million when you sold, or above 10 million?
It was right in that area.
All right.
So, we had 90 employees at the time
Boom.
to sell, but we had multiple, divisions within the company. We had an installation division, we had a stainless steel division, we did HVAC, refrigeration, and kitchen service.
Yeah, so you had a diverse portfolio of services.
Correct.
And you hit you understand your market, so you really develop a lot of service offering that gained fast traction in the market. Absolutely. And you're an amazing operator, grew it to over 10 million in less than 10 years. And But then you felt that it's time for you to sell because of that aggressive growth that wasn't so much aligned with your lifestyle. So how did you go? How did you go about finding a buyer for your business, Jeff?
Believe it or not, it wasn't even something we were looking for at the
Okay.
time. It was we were getting approached a lot more.
Okay.
I think any service company that's doing pretty successfully today is probably getting a lot of phone calls that say, "Hey, we'd love to invest in your business," or "Hey, we'd love to buy you guys," or they try to learn more on what you're doing and basically how to run your business. I ended up finding a private equity group that I ran into at a RIFMA conference, so Restaurant Facility Maintenance Association. We just so happened to be kind of out in a common area like we are now, and we ended up hitting things off. And I think maybe 6 months to a year later, that particular person ended up coming into the Houston area where I was, and we had breakfast one morning, and things kind of escalated from there. But it was never this is what we want to do. It just became, it was an offer that you couldn't refuse type thing. Knowing what I know now, I probably should have kind of pitted some of these private equity groups against each other, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to have some questions there, but then so when these guys approached you, did they have already a value in mind? Like, how did you go about that pricing conversation?
Sure. So we went through the discovery process just like every company does. We also before we went through that, we kind of utilized some local, I guess, outsourcing companies to kind of do evaluation of the business.
Okay, so you did evaluation.
Yeah, we did. We even went to the SBA because they offer that for free for companies that are looking to kind of understand where their value sits.
Yeah, perfect.
That's what the SBA does. It's part of their, offering to small business.
Yeah.
And so just another avenue for you guys as a company owner to go out and at least get an idea.
Yeah.
So they're a great resource as well to help you kind of run your business more professionally.
Right. So you went to the SBA, you've determined the value of the business, and then what happened?
Then it was a lot of negotiations. At that point, we were so covered up in business.
Right.
We were so busy that to go through that process and run a company at the same time was not good for our customers. So, we kind of we came back as a company and said, okay, let's make sure that we don't, if we're going through this process, whether we want to or not, we need to make sure our customer base is taken care of. So that's something that if you're looking to do that, don't lose your core business to go through the process of discovery, as they call it. Definitely take care of your customers, because that's who's going to pay the bill and give you that potential of a sell anyhow. So we were able to kind of sit back and work on a game plan on how to best continue to run the business and be able to have these conversations and negotiations at the same time.
And so from start to finish, how long did the process take?
6 to 8 months.
Okay. All right. And in that period, did you have any, what were some of your biggest hesitations or concerns about this whole, I'm going to sell my company?
Well, in any negotiation, you as someone who has built something have a value in your head, because you have your blood, sweat, and tears into the business, everything that you've done, all the stuff that the people on the outside don't see, all the heartache, all the sleepless nights, all the, issues that you have to deal with as a business owner or starting a business or running a business. It's tough to equate that into a dollar sign.
Yeah. There's a lot of emotional investment.
Absolutely.
That you can't put a dollar sign on it.
So when you have someone say, we want to give you X amount for your baby, it's tough for you to go, yeah, okay, sure, here, take my kid, right? So, that was a big, obstacle to kind of overcome and understand. It's business, it's not personal, and this is based on how you're running the business and what it's worth, and this is what we're willing to offer you type thing. So to get into all that, it's a lot of analytics. It's a lot of operational conversations that, to be honest, makes you look at your business as a separate way at the end of the day too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a huge learning process too.
Yeah. Any other concerns you had, or any things that like anything that had you like thinking twice about moving forward on the deal, that had you like take a minute to stop and think about it?
I think, like I said, it wasn't something that we were looking to do. I think you as a business owner is looking to do that. You've got to be 100% sure and set your business up to do that, because otherwise it's a lot of extra work that you weren't anticipating on top of your daily operations.
Right. Okay. And when did the sale happen?
In 2018, fall of 2018.
Okay, so now 5 years later.
Yep.
If you were to go through that experience again, what would you change, if anything?
Wow. I would definitely utilize my network today to answer some of the questions that I may have had back then.
Like what kind of questions?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Just the things that nobody has all the answers, right?
Right.
And at that point in time, I wouldn't say my network is as developed as it is today.
Right.
So I didn't have a whole lot of people to reach out to with certain questions that you may have. Obviously, you're going to sign some sort of NDA, but you can still have professional conversations without letting the cat out of the bag. And so,
to have like an advisor of sort.
Absolutely.
With someone who's been there, done that. So get an advisor. So what you would is have an advisor, consultant, or more of an advisor with you.
I'd have a panel of people, whether you're paying them or not. I would definitely reach out to people that have done it in the past. But I would reach out to people that are, just confidants that you can trust to really talk through things and understand what the potential consequences may be and what the potential benefits may be.
And that's key. And I seek advisors all the time, and we've been through some restructures, and it's always good to have that sounding board. Around strategic decisions.
Well, as a company owner, you always feel like it's you against the world. You feel that way. And
exactly.
The problem is because everybody's your competition, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's your customer and everybody's your competition. And in some cases that may be true, but for the most part, everybody is in the same boat.
Beautiful.
We're just all carrying different oars.
Well, that's an amazing way to wrap up the session. But now, Jeff, before we go, now you are at Marcone.
That's correct.
So tell me a little bit about what you're doing at Marcone, the vision you've got behind what you're doing there, and how are you guys looking to position into this industry?
So, 3 weeks ago, I accepted a position with Marcone. I'm excited because we have a local presence and a national reach.
Yes.
We have over 150 locations throughout the country. And I think it's going to be key to our customer base, the service agent, to have more parts inventory at a local level, and at the end of the day, take care of the end user in a quicker time, as well as lessen the burden of inventory costs on service agents.
I love it. If you're a service company, you're in commercial food equipment, and you need some parts, talk to Jeff.
Call me.
Jeff, thank you so much, brother, for coming on.
Great to see you.
Appreciate you. Great to finally connect, folks. There you have it. This was Jeff Victory from NRA Chicago. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode.